Sanibona, hello, igama lami uThuthukani Ncane and uyazi uWilly YBC Freshers. Uyazi sikuphathele all the freshmen from ama-nyuvesi ukuthi la si-understand ukuthi ngabe impilo yabo iphila kanjani, bona bama-entrepreneur, baphinde futhi bafunde, bama-graduate, bangene even into politics. Namhlanje ngesiphethe ubhuti la. I think nje, first thing first, just tell us who you are and where you're from.
Okay, no, thank you so much, leader. Igama uSimphiwe, Bhabs Goniwe. I am a very young visionary guy, very hungry. I can regard myself as an opportunist as well, not by choice, but by the conditions that one has been subjected to. Because one is in the process of self-discovery, because the education system doesn't really unleash the fullest potential of me as a person. That is what I've discovered, because I ended up enrolling window which was not in alignment with my strength and capabilities. Even abanye abantu have been demoralized proceeding with our academics because they have been regarded as incompetent just because they are not good in certain modules or subjects. Unfortunately, we have different strengths and we have different callings, because the philosophy that they use in the education system is more of judging a fish by its ability to climb a tree. Because if you do that, brother, the fish will live its whole life thinking that it is stupid. If you really want to see the full potential of a fish, you put it in the water and it will show you flames. So I'm that kind of individual. I'm in the process of discovering myself. I want to unleash my fullest potential. I'm not a conformist. I don't want to accept the system projections. I don't want to accept being mediocre. I come from a very small township, which is not even in the map, unfortunately, but it will definitely be in the map through yellow Bhabs. It's called the Quarry Heights. It's surrounded by Umashu, Newland East, and Avoca Hills. I'm very proud of where I come from, and definitely I'm going to put the Quarry Heights on the map.
I'm surprised. I'm also inspired. Now, choose a course like a what do you have in mind? What was your vision into choosing the course? Looking at the personality of your owner, looking at your strengths and also your weaknesses.
Okay. No, man, to be quite honest, as I said, that the education system here too is not really fair. But then outside of the education system, I think the exposure it didn't really give us a career guidance. The reason why I chose to be a varsity, it was due to our surroundings. Ngoba bengihlala Quarry Heights umakhelwane Newland East is ama mini suburbs. Fortunately enough, abazali bami tried to give me a better education. So by giving me that better education, I was able to build a network. I made friends with abantu abaqhamuka from well-established families who do understand the procedure of going to varsity. So I didn't understand that procedure, but being the kind of person that I am, I'm vigilant and I'm opportunistic. Ngayibamba indlela abebenza ngayo, ngabamba ngasondela kubona ngaphilisana nabo. Sahleleza ngaqosha. Eqosheni kwami kwathi apply angazi nami apply yani, yabo. Kwathiwa no supply ke evarsity manje. And laphayana there was no sort of career guidance ukuthi mina, because I am an outspoken person, mhlawumbe I can do immediate publicity. No. Kwakubhekwa laphana ama-point ukuthi ayi wena ube nama-point akanje ngathi course evumayo, yabo. By the way, I didn't even understand what as office management and technology is, yabo. But ngayi-apply looking at ama-point ukuthi I know man ngingafitha la, yabo. Kanti ama-point ami kwathi kuphela unyaka they were even higher than that, but I was just excited discovered that sengithola offer makusuthu ukuthi ngingile I'm enrolling to varsity. Yes. Fortunate enough, man, ngoba whatever that happens, akufanele uyibuke at a negative perspective phela. There is always something good about everything osuke ungayilindele ezokwenzakala empilweni yakho. I-office tech, I really didn't think ukuthi it would assist me this much. I-office tech, abantu bengayibuka beye kanti that course is very powerful because it has contributed a lot in the ideology and understanding that I have in regards to business administration. So I didn't really have a vision of what's in your fund office tech because it's not alignment with my strength and my calling and purpose. But ngangene varsity because ngangifuna nami ukuthi ngibreak the generational curse, because I'm the first person ongene varsity eLandeni and I'm the first person to graduate. And I will be the first multi-billionaire.
That's true. So we have no idea ukuthi uyofundani. But konke okungichaza kakhulu la ukuthi bongazi uyofundani, but also ufikile khona wabona ukuthi lokho okufundayo at least kuyaboost ama strength vele onawo and also your passion. So uyazibuza ke la mhlawumbe ungakaya enyuvesi mhlawumbe usuka lo suka ngakhona na ufuna ukubreaka le case ukuthi how was your varsity life as a freshman nje ufika.
Okay. Hey, wow, okay. Ukufika kwami evarsity hlanhla leyo ngoba nje kade ngishilo ukuthi I had friends engangisuka nabesikele because ngangifunde nurse. So hlanhla leyo mina noNjabulo, a very good friend of mine, esazwana kusukela ka grade, but it was grade 8 in primary, in high school. But I knew him in primary because we went to Parakuta ndawonye. So ngangena na evarsity, engene na evarsity, I didn't have that ukuthi I'm alone.
You had someone already,
a friend, you understand that? Yes. So obviously engene na evarsity, there was always that stigma and stereotype ukuthi hey, uba se-varsity it's frustrating, kunalama elite,
people with high standards.
Exactly. But to be honest, I didn't really see that. I really didn't see that because in the young Caesar is to be myself. I didn't try to fit in, but I explore. And exploring, being the kind of person that I am, Bhabs or Logish. Angibonanga abantu abaqhamuka from many suburbs, angibonanga abantu abawonkhaya and then tried in subjects and conform to that particular culture or
and
change my character. Gavele ngaba yimina, and evarsity it's literally unleashed the true Bhabs. And any door futhi engincedile by being in varsity and advising ngabanika yona abafowethu nodadewethu ukuthi explore most varsity. As much as we ukuyofunda, but don't limit yourself to academics pen. There is so much out there. If you don't like politics, there is NETAS. It will teach you about business. If you don't like business, there is peer educators. If you don't like peer educators, there is peer helpers. It's a broad scope. And lando lana ungayibuka mhlambe it's a face value ukuthi ayingeke mina ngizoloku ngintanda lana yini lento izongibhenefitsisana na kanti no. Ungayibuke that it's this face value ekuhambeni kwesikhathi you will benefit through network. Ayukho into ebalekile njenge network by you affiliating yourself kulawo structures lawo, you broaden now umqondo wakho and you also build a network ezokwazi ukuthi assist ekuhambeni kwesikhathi. One have established some few businesses due to unemployment and other decisions esawathatha. And I will tell you ukuthi i-support eningi engitholayo I'm getting it from the people engangilida kubona kulama structure lawa, because I was into politics. I was a highly active member of ISASCO. I was also housing committee. I led people from Renaissance. I was the treasurer and chairperson, and then I went to Chachahan. I was also the chairperson there. People living my leader, seeing me hustling on the streets by a man because they know my character and the devotion that I had for the people. Hence, I'm reaping manje because ngangibanceda without receiving anything monetary in return. You understand? But I'm in that perspective because I have a passion for people.
True.
So yeah, I advise you just to summarize. Mawufika varsity ungayiphothi, don't limit yourself to one scope, explore. There are many options. You might not benefit now, but then come in with cards
benefit later because of the people that you have.
Yes, network. Yes,
network is very important.
Yes.
Ukhuluma about politics. That just takes me straight to the next question.
Yes,
politics.
Okay. There's this good friend of mine. We in business together now. Kamalake Ubel, who is well known as Mapisa. He's the former SRC Secretary General. Yeah. Ngifika mina ngangazi uNjabulo. And uNjabulo wayefunda noMapisa eClassini benze public admin. So through umngani kamngani ngagcina sengazi sengithole umngani. Yes. So uMapisa ke yena has experience and has been into politics because I figure mangosuthu it wasn't his first time ever since waqala i-DUT. So mase sefika sesenza second year, uyena umuntu who was always telling us about this organization, ezefunda njalo masosha ayifana masijabula uthola ukuthi yena mhlawumbe sekufanele si-relax ekuseni uyavuka nekuseni uthi no I have to go to the information desk and so on and so forth yabo. And I was curious ukuthi hayibo lenkokheli lena iyabhizi kangaka yini yenza wathi from academics ayo yabo. But ngakakunaka, and it came to a point whereby kwagcina sek-electwa Renaissance housing committee. Makhe-electwa i-housing committee, uMapisa wangena yena as deputy chairperson. yabo. Mayengena yena nami I was elected, I don't know how, yabo. I don't know how. I was elected as a treasurer. I was shocked, but shooting respond on the floor was very positive. I got my vote and then again. That is how I started developing the love for politics, because that was my first step into being exposed to student politics, and from there ngathanda ukuthi ngiseve abantu and ngagcina sengifika to the point where ngafika khona.
Bona soshilo ke bafo ukuthi wa electwa
Yes, leader.
as a SSC candidate and ukube futhi kwi house committee.
Yes, leader.
Kona konke lokho ukuthi nomuntu ohlala ungena khona ngathi mhlawumbe ufundeni from all of that.
Okay. Yabona, I think in fact yazi lento ilokhu ibuya yabo, and it gives me the element of ukuthi this thing is very important. Into engifundile lapha kakhulu is network, yabo, the ability of understanding human relations. Leyanto yangifundisa ukusebenza nabantu, because laphayana I was at the edge of dealing with two different aspects. I was representing students, but then at the same time in management I frustrates my students. I had to ensure ukuthi it responds to my grievances abo, but to not dent futhi relationship enginayo nayo in management yebo. Ngawuthi nawe ukhona eShajahan yes mhlawumbe you can attest yabo, ngoba ade ngisho ukuthi I was not a conformist yabo, as much as I wanted to sustain a relationship between management and I, but then I never took, I don't want to use this word, but izinto ebheda ngafuna ukuthi conformingly accepted kanjalo. I always advocated for the best interest of students yabo. Even Mr. National himself, he knew if into ngiyifuna ngangiyifuna yabo, makukuthi fanele ngibhabhaze and stop every process eyayenzakala or call students yabo. I did that yabo, not ukuthi I was trying to be revolutionary, no, but then I knew ukuthi it's of paramount importance for you to stand for what you believe in, for you to serve the best interest of the people that elected you phakathi, but at the same time ensure ukuthi awubi rude but uba nendlela yoku-addressa ngayo ama-issues yabo, because being rude, because in management those are all people yabo, and you need to not isolate that thing yabo. But kwi-business or mhlambe kwama-structures ekufanele si-implemente khona ama-leadership qualities akhona, fanele i-HC ibeke eceleni, but there is a thin line between you being radical and you being arrogant yabo. So I tried to be radical but not to be arrogant, yes. So I was able to address issues. No, but then Mr. Nash, you saw the situation laphaya. I had to fight you, because even if I didn't fight you, ngabe abaphathi bebhilidi abafikanga yabona manje ama-issues akanjena ase resolved nawe angeke usavuswe ebusuku because of 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. So into engayifunda laphayana is human relations. Try by all means to balance izinto zakho. Don't lose ubudlelwane just because you want to prove a point. Fight for what is right, but in a respectful and thoughtful manner.
True.
Yes, lead.
Lokuphindile, everything is about context, creating a market yakho and getting to know people that can help you in future.
Yes.
Lokho nami sengikufundile futhi dama ukhuluma and ngenhlalo nokuhlala nawe ngaba nalolu thuba. I have noticed ukuthi umuntu wabantu.
Yes, lead.
Lokho creating i-passion yokuba MC. Awuchazi ngokuqale kanjani?
Yeah, okay, no, to be quite honest, in fact, abanye abantu they will be surprised, because mhlawumbe bazotshela ukuthi being an MC was an inspiration that I drew from someone. Being an MC is an inspiration that I drew from ukuvandalizer, from being a party animal. Mina wafethu bengidansa, bengishaya ifani, bayazi abafethu ababa neprivilege ukuthi bezwane nami ngisajabula. By the way, I'm celebrating 3 years manje without alcohol in my system and being nicotine free. I also used to smoke. Sizobuyela sixoxe mhlawumbe some other day what resulted to me ukuthi ngigcine sengiyeka lezo zinto lezo. But a lesson here is that you shouldn't only view izinto osuke uyihamba ezinganayo imiphumela emihle according to the public perception at a negative perspective. Mina lento ba MC ngayithola eklabini kahle. Khona iclub la yayibizwa ngeHavana enye ibizwa ngeSpank back in 2012 and 2013. Laphayana there was a place eHavana esasibizwa nge-smoking area where we used to join and come together as ama-outi namathekeni and mase sesiyidlela izinto zethu mase kuyakhwezelwa. So makukhwezelwa I always used to lead that thing. I was creative to a point whereby ngangize ngicreate nama-theme benga-exist, abantu be-resonate now bencane. Ngizofika enkundleni kuthulekile bonke abantu balele ngifike ngikhwezele ayi bevuka abantu yabo and mina ngangithi hayi ukuba nje isitheshane ukuba ipathula yabo kushekezela yabo yabo I didn't take it as into ezongbenefitisa at this point manje I'm making money I'm having an income through ukuthi ngayifaka and I lived my age because enye into ebalekile leyo asingayiphothi if isikhathi sivumile sokuthi ishaya ifani but to a certain extent allow ukuthi ube nama phases empilweni yakho allow ukuthi into uyi-experience udlule kuyona and process of growth and change shall prevail in that regards so lento yokuba MC na ke bafethu ngayithola eclubini ngafika evarsity mangifika evarsity nakhona futhi because obviously ukufika evarsity you will explore yabo nefani futhi nakhona safike sayishaya exactly yabo so mina mangifika evarsity ke angizama ukuthi ngibe umuntu engayena ngizama ukuthi ngibe usimomoza ngizama ukuthi mhlawumbe ngibe umkhaya but ngaba yilokishi lengilo yabo so izinto engangizenza if i-environment nama conditions evuma ukuthi ngibehave ngalendlela ngangibehave ngalendlela if we were having fun kwavele kuzenzakalele automatically ukuthi ngivele nje abantu ngibahlanganise ngikhwezele kujabulwe ngidanse kujabulwe yabo so it went to a point whereby kwaba ne program eyaba khona last year babefuna program director wangatholakala program director babheka bathi no Bhabs take the steam man hey but I was a bit skeptical because I've never stood in front of more than 200 people throughout the program ziyophela yabo but then I thought to myself ukuthi yazi I-reality ithi if you are in the frame you can't really see ama details a picture but umuntu ongaphandle can see each and every details which is in the picture or frame so I realized there's a reason behind laba fethu laba bekhombe mina out of all these people let me take the opportunity either way I will benefit if kungahambi kahle ngizobe kodwa ngi-overcome fear yami and ikhona isifundo engizosifunda through that environment ngizokwazi uku-identify ama-weaknesses ami mase ngizama ukuthi ngi-improvise khona ekuhambeni kwesikhathi yabo fortunately enough ngavele ngayenza lento and boom things turned out positively abantu bayincanywa blind vibe yami and from there I started receiving calls student counseling called me I led to your brotherhood TLDC called me Ubuntu Entertainment I started receiving gigs left right and center and then I started realizing no let this is cut some manje yabo so I started charging so uyabona ukuthi into engayithola ekuvandalizeni but manje isiyangibenefitisa monetarily yabo so it's because yes it's giving me an income yabo so kahle kahle lento yokuba uMC bafethu it's something that was aligned with the personality yami nokuthi ngingayiphuthi ama opportunities mayefika angiwathathe nganqane ngezandla zombili kuba ukuthi if kulunganga impilo iqhubeke because at some point ngenxa yefear ne low self esteem we will end up losing ama breakthroughs ethu yes so mina ke I never allowed fear ne self esteem ukuthi determine izinto engizozenza yabo as I said naseqaleni I'm a very opportunistic person sometimes it works for me sometimes iyangilimaza kancane because at some point that is how you end up eating poison by grabbing each and every opportunity but ayikho into esingayenza because education system yethu it doesn't unleash our fullest potential.
I'm sure but for as a young entrepreneur a graduate there's a lot of challenges obhekana now every day. Yes, ama challenges obhekana now and how umuntu osesicathuleni zakho anga-overcome ngawo.
Okay. No, in that domain, ama challenges engathi mhlawumbe ngibhekana nawo is ukuthi there is no instant gratification. Yeah, I have a family nginencosi that I need to plow back ngiyibhekelele. Nami nje ngi-out efanele ngihlezi ngiqhakazile yabo. So in this journey there is no such thing as planting and reaping today. So ama challenges engibhekana nawo is ukuthi fanele ngibekezele because uqala ibhizinisi uhlezi uzoyitshela ukuthi yini uzompompa
always
yes I-reality ukuthi uzompompa but not ngesikhathi you're expecting ngaso. It's more of planting a bamboo tree. A bamboo tree take 5 years underground stamping its roots abantu bengayiboni but when it shoots up 80 meters tall within just less than 8 months. So ama challenges engibhekana nawo ukuthi there's no instant gratification. I don't benefit at a face value. And as a graduate, mhlambe into engasho ukuthi ama challenges engabhekana nawo is the type of education system or economy yase South Africa which lead to high rate of unemployment. But kulama challenges lawa we shouldn't just deem them as ama challenges. They always come with opportunities because ngabe manje I'm not an entrepreneur. True. If ispanning ngasithola
fast.
Yes. in regards to permanent post and so on and so forth. But right now, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a possibility of creating a generational wealth. I have a possibility of being a multi-billionaire. If bengiyi-employee, bengeke ngiyithole le opportunity, because as an employee, uba kwi-red race, uconforme to ama-standards, i-system absorbe yonke into oyenzayo. You want to qualify for i-loan yemoto neye-bond, and imali ithi ifika ibithathwa yini, ibithathwa yiwo wonke ama-policies osuke wangenelile. Kanti as an entrepreneur, you get to study and understand the system. Yonke into oyenzayo, you look it at the perspective of gaining or getting more net worth than salary, because these are different. A net worth is focusing more on getting more assets than liabilities. Kanti ma une salary, you get more liabilities. You understand? Yeah. So yeah, in the process of me being unemployed, I was able to venture into entrepreneurship, and then now I have this mindset. Isizukulwane nesizukulwane sama singeke siphinde safarishe, because the moment le ndibhuma bazothola lento ebizwa nge-generational wealth, they will be able to inherit some assets, and they will be able to also plow in mindset and shift the paradigm yabo to also being aspiring entrepreneurs. Because lento ye-entrepreneurship abantu bayibuka as running just a business. Yonke into oyenzayo usudayisa. You understand? You're always selling your service. So at some point in abo, if they have a passion with fashion, or a passion mhlambe kwi-beauty industry, akusho ukuthi ngoba nje une-passion with fashion kufanele uze uyosebenzela mhlambe any institute mhlambe edila ney'ngubo kube ukuthi mhlambe ungemuva, cha, yabo. You can also start your own brand, yabo. And if you're starting your own brand will end up growing. Igcine sikreathela ini igama.
Sun's coming down now, you ain't around now. Tell me how long should I be waiting for your love?
Bafose nje ukukhumbula kancane sangena ku Facebook sathi soma sake sidala siyakubona lapha udedelela isidala nomngani wakho udlela izazo. Can you tell us more about that photo?
Which picture is that? Oh yeah, hey ngangiphethe uMandlava la. Oh boy do. Hey, kwakuyi-freshers ball la, bafethu, kwakuyi-freshers ball la. Ngoba nje ngisho nje bafethu ukuthi kahle kahle ngokomthetho bekufanele ngabe mina ngikwi-media and TV personality, yabo. Yeah, mina I'm that person who is an extrovert, who is out there, okwazi ukuhlanganisa, ngisho kuthiwa kungekho ngaleso sikhathi but into iqinisa ekhaya. La sasiyobangena ngesitayela. Kwakuyi-freshers siyobagoqoza sibahle futhi sinuka kamnandi. Siyokhwezela siyobagoqoza.
Sibone leso mba lokho sathi nje ukuhlaziya siyabona ukuthi the more ungena enyuvesi, because I think that was first day yakho, right? Sure. Freshers uyobangena, but the more ufikile phakathi wakhula, even nesitela sakho sathi ukushintsha.
Yes.
I-vintage dala wayiqoqa khona usudedele khona i-shirt.
Sure.
Udle khona nezazi.
Showcase. Hayi isitala bafethu kade kancane ukuthi phela bethi amasenta ake yanqapha kancane. La ngangidedele ihembe le-timer. Hayi lighosti kakhulu ke.
Hayi honest.
Yeah, ngangidedele ihembe le-timer la i-vintage le. I think it was my second year. Yeah, I think it was my second year. So yeah, I think there is not much about that picture, but ukuthi if kuukuthi bafethu izinto hlanganisa lokho khona for as long as uzoba clean kufaneleke, yabo. Kwathi ke sekuhlangana ke ngoba vele nguPeter ngilokishi nophawu ngiyalazi ngabe ke sengicosha nabe izinto ezithini, but angikaze ngikuvumele ukuthi ngoba izinto ayihlangana ngaleso sikhathi mase nami ngiyayiyekelela, yabo. La ngangihlanganisa kwakukhona nami ngibukeke ngibe bahle.
Awahlanganisa. So awuqoshe esinye, I think less currently ugqoke khona ijazi lakho graduate.
Sure.
Kanti la ke wasuhlanise ngempela ngekwegama.
Showcase. Oh yeah, no, this was my first graduation. In fact, ngathi sengenza unyaka wami wesibili. Ngangisengikwazi ukwenza imali, yabo. Ngithi ngixoxele bami ukuthi amabhano engangiwadlala. Yabo, inyukeni ngangishaya kumabhano ngangayiphothi o-triple M bathi befika ngayifaka kuzona, yabo, because i-network marketing is all about mingling and socializing with people, yabo. So ngayisebenzisa nami strength sami ukuthi ngikwazi ukuthi ngenze inyuku ngaleso sikhathi leso, yabo. And vele ngoba istyle umuntu wayesazi ngabe ke sengikwazi ukuthi ngigqoke into engiyithandayo, yabo, a preference yami. So this was my first graduation, and yeah, nala futhi ngangimnandi.
Fresh. I think from la was uqalile ubona from second asuqalile wenza into eziningi ezenza imali.
Sure.
Can you tell us right now currently what you're busy with? Umuntu ongazi.
Okay. No, currently I am a CEO and co-founder of Isiqalo Institute in Academics. engisithole nabafowethu abawu2 ekuSlofo uMr Shandu kanye naye uBekuyise Bhengu. Enye project esiranayo esinandini Current Blue esinandini nayo futhi it's another project esiranayo lapha na lesidayisa inyama yenhloko. Our vision is to have a traditional restaurant. We will definitely have it and also look at the value chain of that particular industry as soon as you are at that given time. Isiqalo ke it was established through ukuyifaka kwethu nokungayiphothe evarsity ngoba nje kade ngishilo ukuthi I was active in student politics. So in the process behlangana nezingane ezinama frustrations. Ithola ukuthi ingane izofika inama point amancane lokho ku serious. Uyafisa ukuyisiza but then awukwazi. We advise ukuthi no hamba ulungisifundo zakho. The following year kanti leyo ukwazi ukuthi uyikhumbule ukuthi no but then wena sekwafika next year umuntu uyabuya ufika nama marks afanayo. So we then thought ukuthi no man, how about we then establish a program of such nature of which is the Siqalo Institute in Academics, where we provide upgrading lessons or tutorial programs last deploy khona especially professional and well experienced educators, because enye into ebesingafuna ukuthi siyenze ukuthi sigxumele imali, because if uzogxumela imali uzo end up usulanda ama-tutor ase-varsity. I'm not saying anything about ama-tutor. Ama-tutor are specializing in varsity, but akwazi ukuthatha umuntu ospecialize ama-modules ase-varsity uyomfaka ku-curriculum ye-basic education, because fanele uthole umuntu who is constantly updated about what is happening in the basic education or understandayo the style of marking eyenzakala e-marking center, ukuze ezokwazi ukuthi mayefundisa iy'ngane ayi-advise ukuthi don't tackle i-question kanje, i-tackle ngale ndlela yabo. So we deploy professional teachers. We also have an extended program where we provide career guidances, because iy'ngane ey'ningi zingene ema-varsity like myself yabo ngoba uthi ufuna ukuba se-varsity and conform to ama-standards that have been set by the society without having a broader vision of le course le usuku uzoyenza. So we want to bridge that gap. Asifuni ukuthi iy'ngane zigcine sezenza izinto which is not in alignment with our strength and capabilities. Our hands we provide career guidance with we deploy certain NPOs and foundations which are specifically dealing with these things. Furthermore, we also want to introduce some entrepreneurship programs or skills within Siqalo Institute in Academics. Looking at the current economy, we have high rates of unemployment. Hence, as a result, if singeke by introduce it to entrepreneurship, we'll be setting them for failure, because I believe that entrepreneurship is one of the strong key points that will drive economic transformation and innovation. Hence, as a result, by them being exposed to entrepreneurship, later employment will no longer be a necessity, but then will be a choice. So yeah, that is how Siqalo was established. And then there is Bhabs the MC, and I think throughout the interview we were able to discover how was Bhabs the MC discovered.
So Bhabs right now then there's 3.
Yes.
Hostel Bhabs ukhona. Njengokudla nje uBhabs ukhona. Ingane yakusingene enyuvesi uBhabs ukhona. So kahle mama nje yonke into edingayo ukhona uBhabs.
Showcase.
Ukhona uBhabs. Looking into uBhabs ekosemncane right now. Yini mhlawumbe into ongabe wayifundisa yena uBhabs njengangaya enyuvesi uBhabs nje eseyingane.
Okay. No, can you repeat the question?
Yini ongayifundisa uBhabs engangaya enyuvesi? Mhlawumbe uBhabs enza grade 12.
Oh.
A younger version of you. Ngabo yini mhlawumbe ofisa ukuthi khona umuntu afika kuwena wakutshena lokho.
Okay. No, to be quite honest, anginawo regrets. Yonke into eyenzakalile empilweni yami, I think I was fortunate enough ukuthi ngifunde kuyona, yabo. Like for instance, ungene varsity and participating in all structures akhona, from politics to being a peer educator, yabo. So uBhabs got advice, I don't know from where. I think the universe was kind to me, yabo. Take each and every opportunity efikayo ngaleso sikhathi, because you don't know ukuthi breakthrough yakho izoqhamuka ngakuphi. So i-advise uBhabs if kuwukuthi akayenzanga lento lena ayenza ebengamnika yona ukuthi build network and value relationships.
So it's all about building network and value relationships.
Yes, value budlelwane. Imali ibalekile, but imali comes and goes. Imali yaphela ungasale ngisho naneshumi, and abantu abane-ability yokuthi nibephinde bekunyuse kanti usukile ilabantu laba kade unetwork nabo at your way up. So ensure ukuthi awugxobi umuntu at your way up, because you will need those people at your way down. So that is in network and valuing relations.
Abakhalela ukubhuka uBhabs, abakhalela uBhabs ukumlandela bangamtholaphi?
Okay, ngiyatholakala in all social media platforms. If you just want to be a friend of uBhabs, you can invite me on Facebook at Bhabs Goniwe. But if you want to book me, you can DM me or inbox me on Facebook. It's Bhabs_the MC. Bhabs_the MC. Same as like Instagram and Twitter. It's Bhabs_the MC. Then lama project eswaranayo, of which is Isiqalo Institute in Academics. For now, we are active on Facebook. Uzoithola Isiqalo Institute in Academics on Facebook, and also Esnandini Cotton Blue. Esnandini Cotton Blue. You will find those 2 pages on Facebook. We will still expand to other social media platforms, which is your Instagram and Twitter, but we will inform abantu abasuke bekhona and active page lethu.
Feel free to follow, like, and also comment in all these topics zakhe konke into oyithandayo ngam-inboxa. Feel free bafethu. Siyabonga kakhulu bafethu bosinika lona YBC Freshers. Sibonga kakhulu, ngiyathemba baningi abalaleli ekhaya nababukeli abafundile okuningi from wena. Baningi abafisa ukuba la wena okhona and la bathola impendulo. Baningi abajwayele ukubona ke on campus banga-understand ukuthi ngabe wenzani, yini wa-active kangaka, yini i-passion yakho. Ngiyathemba ukuthi baphendulekile bonke labo, and baningi abangafisa ukuthi kuba khona umuntu abafisa ukumbona la. Ngizocela ke lapho ukuthi uyishiye i-comment lo muntu lo igama lakhe thina sizokwazi ukumlandela, sikwazi ukuthi simbeke la siphendule zonke impendulo zakho khalela ukuzazi ngayo. Sibonga kakhulu bafo as YB Freshers ukuthi sinike lethuba ukuthi ufike la. Siyabonga kakhulu enhlizweni zethu zonke. And ke niyangazi ke mina igama lami uThuthukani Ncane, nangifollow ku-Instagram and also on Facebook. Niqhubeke nilandele ne-page, ni-subscribe ku-YouTube channel yethu. Lesithemba ukuthi ubuke khona le video YBC Freshers. Ama-bursaries sizohlezi siwaposta nayo yonke ivideo. Ama-page yethu niwalandele azohlezi ekhona ukuze uthole ulwazi ukwazi uku-apply, uzithole ithuba lokuthi ufunde mahhala. Lokho kuzotholakala kulona le page.
Thathi inkomo noma lumekuseni, uthando lwakhe lugcwala izihosha, muhlo uyasabeka kabhekeke ebusweni.